What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Get Rich or Get Drunk Trying podcast. I am your host, Asia Abston. Hello, guys. I've missed you like crazy. That was When I'm in Your Arms by Cleo Soul. I could play y'all this entire song. It's like 9 minutes of just fire. This girl's voice is insane. This song is insane. I had to slow it down for episode 50 of the podcast. Can you believe we're on 50 episodes? Like, how nuts is that? I've got an incredible interview for you guys today. I polled my Instagram audience and I asked them for some suggestions. Like, who should I have coming up on the podcast 2021? Like, who do you guys want on the show? And I got several requests for Sheneka Adams. And I was really excited about that because I already followed her and I'm a fan of her anyway. So it was perfect timing. And I said, all right, guys, you know me. I always love to listen to my followers, my listeners, my subscribers. 200% say less. And we've got Sheneka with us today. So let's just hop right into the episode. Today, I've got a super exciting interview for you. I polled you guys on Instagram and asked you who you wanted to join me on the podcast. And the number one answer I got was Sheneka Adams. And I was like, oh, well, fantastic. I love her. This should be great. But sis is busy. Sis is popping. Sis got 47 businesses. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen. But here we are. I listened to you guys. Mission accomplished. Sheneka Adams is with me. Welcome to the show, babe.
Hey, how are you? I'm glad to be here.
I am living the dream, and I'm super happy that I can make my listeners happy. So for anybody that doesn't know Sheneka, she is a luxurious Black woman, master manifester, author, serial entrepreneur, supermodel. I mean, you do it all.
Yes, I do it all. I'm the Jill of all trades, literally.
A Jill of all trades. I like the sound of that. First things first, this is a show about business and entrepreneurship. So I want to talk business. You have your hands in so many projects. The clothing store. You've got a podcast. You've got a hair company. Give me the full rundown. Like, what are all the projects that you got going on?
Well, so I have my hair company. It's S. Adams Collection. And from there, I branched off into, there's various products on that website. And then I have the boutique, which is Sheneka's Closet. I also have the blog, which is incorporated with the podcast. The blog is called Simply Sheneka, and the podcast is called Goddess Confessions. But both of those, like I said, are pretty much incorporated within one another. And I'm also a mentor / life coach / unlicensed therapist /
I like that, unlicensed therapist. Same, sis. Same. Unlicensed, but I'm good.
Yeah, so I pretty much do it all. My main focus and my main goal is just to keep women inspired. You know, like we got to keep each other inspired out here because it's tough on a girl. So we got to keep each other uplifted and inspired. So yes.
Agreed. Okay, got it. So that's kind of like the theme amongst all your businesses.
Yes, pretty much.
Inspiring other women. I like that. That's a good one. How do you juggle running so many brands? Like, do you have a team? Are you a solopreneur? How are you doing them all in a 24-hour day?
Yes, I do have, people that help me with emails and everyday little things that I do, but really everything pretty much is on my phone. So I just go from account to account, post what's needed and do all of that. But a lot of the logistic stuff, I do have someone to help me, but I enjoy, working with the social media, creating content. I really enjoy that because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have anything to do. Because the way my businesses are set up, they pretty much run themselves. So I really enjoy being hands-on, and I will always be that way no matter how big the businesses grow. So Yeah, you got to have a team. So I definitely want to emphasize that, like graphic designers, photographers, makeup artists, someone to help you with the logistics. So it's important to have that, especially as you're growing.
Now, see, I'm not there yet. I don't have a team. I run all my businesses myself, but I'm learning that I can't do that anymore. I don't want to work for myself. I want to be the CEO. I can't be my admin, my photographer, my social media person. I'm learning to let go and outsource to people who are better than me at other things so that I can focus on what I'm actually good at and want to do.
Exactly. So
Did
it's
you always have that issue, or you just knew that you needed a team?
I didn't always have that issue, but I realized the more pots I stuck my hand into, the crazier things became, especially, with the blog and the podcast. Like that takes up a lot of time because I'm dealing with women and I'm mentoring and coaching and I could do 5 calls in a day, so I have to schedule my time with that. But then I always just take the weekend off. So from Friday at 5 o'clock until, Monday
Monday
morning,
morning.
I'm off and then I'm back to it. So you gotta always set aside that time for yourself. And I know sometimes people don't understand that because they want you to always be active. But I can't do what I do best if I don't take care of me. So you gotta always remember to just take some time away from that and to replenish yourself so that you can get back to doing what you love doing. So
I like that answer. And that's a word for us entrepreneurs. You cannot work 24/7,
uh,
365. Don't work yourself into an early grave. Like, what's the point of having a successful business that you can't enjoy? What's the point of stacking all this money that you can't use and you can't take vacation? And for our customers and clients and supporters, just because you see me on social media at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night does not mean it's business hours.
yes, that's something that I really had to navigate honestly because I feel like, and I say this with all respect because I love everyone that supports me, but I feel like sometimes people don't respect boundaries. And, I have my personal page and my personal life. And yeah, like you said, I might be on social media at 11 o'clock on Saturday, but I'm not working. This is my time to do what I want to do and, whatever I'm doing within that moment. And I just want people to understand that you got to respect boundaries. There are people who I have business emails and business websites and business web pages for that reason alone, for you to reach out and email and contact there. Honestly, truthfully speaking, I don't like when people come on my personal page or email my personal email like, hey, where's my order? Or hey, da 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 da. I'm being respectful, but I really don't like that because I'm like, it's unfair because I know you guys don't do this to everybody, but I feel like because some people think that you're accessible, that it's okay for them to just, email you or reach out to you. But I'm like, I need my time away from that. I give all of my businesses the majority of my time. I really do, whether or not people know. That is all my time. So after those hours, I'm not working. I don't want to answer emails. I don't want to hear that. Some things can wait until the next morning or the next day. But I just want people to understand, customers and other people, just respect small business owners, and be respectful of their time. And if they have professional emails and things set up, always email the company and don't email the owner just because you know who she or he may be.
I
So
approve this
that's it.
message.
I'll do
I co-sign. I approve this message 3000%. I could not agree more. Like, I don't understand why I'm getting DMs on my personal page about something that you bought from my university or from my podcast. Like, sis, I'm with you. I saw the email.
yeah.
It's just 2 a.m. on Saturday. So
All right.
I'm not ignoring you. I just have to compartmentalize my life.
Exactly.
Like, I
Yeah.
love you, but I don't work for you. I work for me. So I feel you. And you know what? Maybe that's something that I should look into, like how other entrepreneurs navigate that whole social media boundary, because I'm not good at it either. So
I
I'm
mean,
with you 100%.
don't reply. I know that might sound a little harsh, but I don't. My personal page is
Is
my,
that exactly that? It's your
you
personal
know,
page. Yeah.
right. So I will not reply to you. That does not mean that I'm ignoring you or I'm being unprofessional or I'm a scammer, because that's the biggest one. If I don't reply, then people fly off the handle and want to call me a scammer. And I'm
Mhm.
like, because I didn't answer you on my personal page, that's not professional. You don't email the CEO of Walmart or
You sure
all
don't.
the places, that you know of. You don't do that to them. So just have respect for small Black business owners, because it takes a lot for us to do what we do. You know, I
Yes.
I don't have the reward of having a huge conglomerate like a Walmart where they have many, many things that can outsource. So yes, I still have my hands in many of the things within the business, but just please try to respect, my personal time and my personal life outside of business hours. That's all I ask.
Agreed. 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 2,000,000%. And on that note, I think it's the perfect time for a get drunk cocktail of the week. Now, I know that you like wine, and I know that you are a healthy girl and you love a green chai latte, matcha shenanigan. But the name of the show is Get Rich or Get Drunk. So you've got
Yeah.
to hit me with a cocktail, a type of wine, a champagne. Hit me. What do you like to relax with?
Honestly, my favorite, I have two. So if it's not, I love wine, but honestly, it's Tito's and pineapple, or it's a Cosmopolitan. And I always do that with Kettle One. But if I had to pick between the two, it would be the Cosmopolitan. I fell
That's
in
a
love
good
with
one.
that, with Sex in the City. Ever since I watched that when I was younger, I was like, oh,
Been
that's
drinking Cosmos ever since. You couldn't even drink though. You weren't even old enough to drink,
no,
but you
but
said
I
when I get old enough.
be my drink, and it was. That was my drink as soon as I turned 21.
Her. That is a classic cocktail. Did you hear that Sex and the City's coming back?
I did, and honestly, I'm not happy about that. Some shows just don't need a reboot. Like we already had 6 or 8 seasons of the show, and I
Plus
think,
two movies.
right, plus the movies, and I think that's enough. Like,
Yeah.
what more do we need? And I love that show because it's like every girl's Bible, and it helped me get through a tough time in my life, like after a breakup, and it really helped me uplift myself again. So we don't need a reboot. Please, please don't do it.
Especially now without Samantha. Like, what's the point?
What's the
I
point?
need all four characters. What else are they gonna do? I mean, no shade, but y'all are 50-plus-year-old white women. I mean, shade free. What else are you going to give? Like,
It's not going to be the same. And I really hope that they reconsider and don't ruin a good thing. Like, let it just live. Let it
yeah.
live.
I'll send them the link to this podcast, sis. Maybe they will. Maybe between the two of us.
On Sarah Jessica Parker's page, like, y'all need to know. Please. No, sis.
Hang it up. We're boycotting that. I agree. I've got another question for you. So you have a really engaged audience. They listen to you not just with their ears, but with their dollars. So many business owners want to make money using social media and are unable to do so. How have you been able to monetize your social media? Because they buy whatever you're selling. Teach us
um,
your ways.
well, see, I'm kind of like, I started on social media I guess at a good time. So I had my footing already. I already had an audience. So that's the advantage that I do have or did have over most. But it's just I'm just my authentic self. That's just what I am, and I create good content that people like, and I create things that can help people or things that they like. Things that a lot of it is revolved around me. So my businesses are me. I am the business, and that is what I market. My life, who I am, and I'm very open and authentic with people. You got to have something that people want, or something that inspires them, or something that they want to spend their money on, and that's totally up to how you package that and market that. um from the blog and the podcast, like, I don't really seek to make a ton of money from that, because I'm really doing a lot of that from my heart. Is what I really, really want to do. I really enjoy helping women. I really enjoy getting the emails and the DMs like, oh my God, you really helped me. Now I was doing this, now I'm doing that. honestly, that's the biggest reward. And from that, the money will come. I have other businesses that feed me very well. I have a partner in my life who takes great care of me too. So
Praise
I
God.
take everybody's money from every avenue, but I do appreciate everyone that supports everything that I have. But just be your authentic self, and whatever business you're going in or whatever you're trying to create, just make sure it's structured the right way and people will buy into it. And you just got to believe in yourself. Like I said, I'm very authentic, I'm very open, and I create things that I know women need or they want, and they just support it. And I really, really appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. That's a good takeaway, guys. It's just you can't don't try to be Sheneka. Don't try to be Asia. It's not
Right.
possible. You got to stand in your lane and stand in your truth and speak to that real place. Like if you're having a tough time in your business, tell your audience. If you're suffering from XYZ issue, tell your audience. You don't have to tell them all your business, but that vulnerability, I think people can relate to that because they can shop with Amazon and likely get something that you sell or something similar, but they're buying from you because they like you, they know you, and they trust you. And if they don't like, know, or trust you, what's the point? Why wouldn't they just get it from somewhere else? Like you have to be vulnerable with your audience. It's social media. This is not a Forbes cover article. This is a space for you to be yourself. Use your Instagram stories to show who you really are as a person and let them connect with you. I think that's a major, major, major takeaway. I am inspired to be more authentic with my audience the same way, especially as a podcaster. I've been behind the scenes for years, and just this year I started showing my face on social, and it's really helped my business. So I agree with that.
And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on, like I said, what your brand is.
Mm-hmm.
And is luxury, spirituality, everything fancy, girly, feminine. That's naturally who I am. But don't get it twisted though, because I'm still that girl. But
Tell us more.
I'm still that girl. But that's just who I am. So I figured out what works for me, and that is what I'm putting my foot on the throttle for. So you just got to figure out what works for your brand and just go for it. People
Yeah.
will support it if you believe in you.
Go for it. Here for that. Um, Perfect timing for the next question. We can feel the confidence vibrating from your page, like all your posts, the angles, the smile, the whole nine. But so many young women struggle in the confidence and self esteem department, especially Black girls. So, did you always have high self esteem, or was that something you developed later in life?
No, it's something that I literally developed. I had to do this on my own. Like I'm telling you, and I talk about this all the time. Like most Black women, you come from an environment where those things were not instilled into you, where you didn't have, a strong figures like male father figures, or even our mothers sometimes, play a part in that. But at some point, you just wake up and you got to take control of your life. So I got tired of sitting around complaining and crying about how this person did this and how this person wasn't there and all of this. What does that accomplish? Nothing.
Nothing.
And I know that sounds harsh, but you really have to wake up and tell yourself that when you become a woman, it's your responsibility now. You can create the life that you want, and you have to tell yourself that you're something special, that you're beautiful, that I'm confident. And even when I say that, I get chills because I really believe that. Can't nobody tell me any different. You know why? Because I take care of me at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, it is my responsibility to make myself happy. I can't look for external things. I have all the purses, I have all the trinkets and everything. And I'm telling you, that stuff doesn't make you happy. It's just stuff that we use. So you have to look within yourself and heal. The problem is a lot of women are suffering from things that they've endured in their childhoods, in their past, and they don't want to take control of their healing. I also have a podcast that speaks to this. It's actually called Take Control of Your Healing. But at some point, you have to take control of that and heal the hurt little girl. So I had to heal the hurt little girl that was crying and suffering. And I'm like, it's time to grow up. It's time to be a big girl. You got to be confident. You got to love yourself. You have all these amazing things going on. Are you going to let all of that tumble down because you're worried about what people have to say? Are you going to let those people hold the power because they took it away from you when you were younger. You got to take your power back. It's all about you, and I speak about that all the time. It's not about the purses or the trinkets and all of that fabulous stuff that you see. It's about how you feel within you. So work on you and heal. The first step is healing. After that, everything else will fall into place. And then you figure out who you want to be, and you start showing up as that woman. I know who I want to be. I can't be like that girl or whomever. I got to be Sheneka. So who is Sheneka? And let me create the best version of her and keep moving forward.
And
That's
your
what
confidence will beam after that. I agree. Guys, I know that you all love podcasts. So, of course, I will be linking Sheneka's podcast in the show notes so that you, when you're done with this episode, you can run over there and check out that episode. That is not my specialty, and I stay in my lane. So I am going to forward you to her so that you can heal your inner self and raise your self-esteem. Self-esteem is key. Y'all know I preach about it every single week on this show. And every guest that comes on here agrees with me. If your confidence is not sky high, and it should be, we got to get you together. That is why you're here. And that's why I've got girls like her on the show. On your blog, you talk a lot about your level up journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the people want details. Okay. We want to know the when, the why, the how we can, the whole nine. How did you know it was time to elevate your life? And then was there ever like an aha moment? Was there like one thing that happened to you that was just, I'm done with this, it's time to level up?
Yeah, there were many, many different things. It's just, I'll say when I turned 25, I also talk about this too. I go very deep into detail as well on the podcast. But I don't know, around like 25, I just had like this awakening. To me, the level up is spiritual. It's within. That's what leveling up means. It's figuring out who you are and completely owning that and living within that. But around 25, I don't know, I just had like this spiritual awakening. Something just slapped me in the face, and it's like, it's time to wake up. And once I did, it was up from there. And I literally just had to change my life around. And like I said, I had to do this on my own. There was no help. There was no one encouraging me and pushing me, because all those people started to fall out of my life. And I'm a very private person, so I'm prideful as well. So even when I'm going through things, sometimes I won't tell nobody. I'll internalize it. I'll go talk to my therapist or my spiritual advisor, and I go from there. But prayer helps, and therapy helps. Okay, I have a spiritual advisor. That helps. You cannot do it on your own. And I had to realize that I can't do this on my own. I need help. So I had to seek out help. And one thing about it, my favorite saying is, when the student is ready, the teachers will appear. Mm-hmm. That's so true. And it's just something that I felt within myself. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to tackle on everything. I'm ready to go forward. And it's not easy, because trust me, I deal with lots of things, people that try to remind you of who you used to be, and you can't let that affect you. We all grow. I am not the same girl that I was when I was 19, modeling and doing all that stuff. No way. Nobody stays the same. You are here to grow, to evolve, to gain knowledge, to grow spiritually, consciously. So that is the whole point of it all. And once you understand that, it's up from there. You have to silence the naysayers in your life and focus on you.
Heavy on the silencing of the naysayers and friends and family and sisters. That means your mom that's a hater, your baby daddy that's a hater, your employer that's a hater, whoever it is, blood, friends, or otherwise. If there is somebody in your life who gets joy from reminding you of how you used to XYZ, instead of getting joy from celebrating that you're in a different space, you got to love that person from a distance. Wouldn't you agree?
You have to, because some people are sent to you for that reason, to keep you distracted. That's their purpose. And then some people, I just talked about this today, like, some people just aren't there, so they're not going to understand where you're going, because they're comfortable either where they are, or it's just not their time. And some people will not wake up and see things for what they are, or to try to improve themselves. And even when it comes to family members, you can love people, like you said, from
From a
afar, but
distance.
you're not going to be involved in my life. Like, I'm so cutthroat about that because I'm so protective of my peace and everything that I have worked hard to accomplish in my life. So I'm very serious about that. I will cut somebody off in a heartbeat. I don't care who you are because I don't owe you anything. The only person I owe something to is myself. And I cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot save anybody else unless I save myself first.
Fact.
And this is not selfish. Having boundaries and having standards and having self-worth is not, it's not selfish because, like I just said, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to let people know, like, listen, I love you, but I don't like your energy. I don't like your attitude. I don't want to be around people that's always nagging and miserable and sad. There's so much more to life than that, and I don't do that. Like I said the other day, I left a quote on my page like, no matter what, I'm gonna enjoy life. I don't
Hmm.
really pay attention to a lot of the negative stuff because I don't have to. And why should I have to be miserable because you are?
Yeah,
That ain't,
unacceptable.
I
Unacceptable.
miserable. I used to be sad down in the gutter, but I'm not no more because I want better. So always, always keep that in mind. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And having standards and self-love is never selfish. Never.
I agree. I love it. See, you guys aren't just hearing it from me. You are hearing it from Sheneka. She believes, she supports the movement. Get rid of those negative people in your life. Edit your social media so that you are not following
Uh,
pages that make you sad and miserable or feel bad about yourself. Surround yourself with people that uplift you and support you and people that inspire you to want to be better and do better. Perfect timing for a get rich tip. I know that you are about your coin, friend. So give us the get rich tip of the week.
okay, my favorite app that I use that helps me save money and different things. It's so easy. It's called Acorns. I've talked about it so many times. Okay, we use our credit cards every day for stuff. I know I do. So basically, with this app, you can look it up. It's called Acorns. You attach your credit card to it. Whatever purchases you spend, it rounds up the change. So let's say you go in the store and you buy something for $1.95. It'll round that purchase up to $2 and invest the 5 cents for you. And it's something so simple. It doesn't cost you any money. All you got to do is sign up and attach your credit card. And, in 2, 3 years, you've accumulated this huge lump sum of money that now is in your retirement and it's there and it's also making money for you because just having money in a savings account is not going to do anything for you. You have
Nothing.
money somewhere else so that it can make more money for you. And that's just one of the apps that I love and I stand by it. I've been using it for years and I've saved so much money with that. And if I ever need to get that money, I can easily withdraw it. So that is my get rich savings tip for the week.
Love it, love it, love it. I use Acorns. I talk about Acorns all the time.
I love acorns.
It's Bay. The first year I used it, I think I had it set to like $5 a week.
Yeah.
And I looked up at the end of the year and had like 4 grand in that account. And I said, well, hell, where did that money come from?
Right. You wouldn't even think about like and the more money I make, the more I set aside.
Increase it. Yeah, same.
So like for me every month I deposit, I don't know, like $2,000 because
And
I
just let it stack up.
it just let it stack up and I'm like, wow, look what I've accumulated at the end of the year, whereas I would have spent this money on something so stupid.
Shenanigans,
Right.
nothing.
Lady, you gotta have your own money, your own little nest egg. That gives you a peace of mind at the end of the day, outside of having a man, outside
Hmm.
of anything, have your own little nest egg. And it's not hard to do this. We just told you.
It takes 5 minutes. I will link Acorns in the show notes. You guys know I've talked about it 100 times. I will talk about it again. Actually, Acorns, y'all need to make me a brand ambassador.
I know.
Shanika and I need a check because I talk about between Acorns, Digit, and Robinhood. I talk about them all the
I need my
time. I need my check. Same. You know what? We're gonna send y'all a joint email at Acorns. Get at me. Uh, I've got another question for you. So I have a course, excuse me, called Lux 365, and I teach women to experience more luxury in their lives every single day. I know that that is in line with your lifestyle as a high value woman. how would you define a modern high value woman, and how can our listeners level up and attain such a status?
I mean, being a high value woman is just knowing who you are, owning that, and just living in your truth and just cultivating a life that works for you. Again, like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with you carrying a Chanel or a Birkin or anything like that. First, it's you. And if you believe that you are something special, that's where it's going to begin. After that, you cultivate and you write down and you script who do you want to be, figure that person out, and then you start living as that woman. My whole thing is, I come from poverty. I don't want to go back to that. Okay, poverty, slowly
It's not for me.
fun. I don't want that. Okay, and I'm not saying that to talk down on anybody. It's just I don't want that. So you know what, I got to get out here and work and start creating the life that I want to keep myself from going back to that, because I don't want that. So for me, it's about having a good quality of life. My quality of life matters, because when you have a good quality of life, it's easy for you to remain in that high value state. I live in a beautiful home. Okay, I decorated it to my standards, because your home is your most sacred place, and I emphasize that so much. If you are living in a place that you're not happy with, if you feel unsafe, if you don't put effort into making your space beautiful, how can you go out into the world and do anything else if you can't even feel happy, relaxed, and sexy and cool in your own home? I love being at home, okay? Because I feel sexy, I feel refreshed, and I feel safe. So that was the most important thing to me, was is getting a space where I can completely exhale and decorate it and make it feel like a home. And from there, all other areas of my life have to be quality. What I eat, where I go, what I wear, what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, what I'm doing, who I'm hanging out with. All of those things have to be quality. Sometimes people will make you feel like saying, some things are beneath me, because they are. Okay.
Fact.
Some things
Same.
are just beneath me now, because I've had experience, I've traveled, and I've seen a lot of the world to understand there's more than life than just accepting mediocrity. I don't want mediocrity in my life. And if you're a high value woman, you respect that and you go after that 100%. Your quality of life matters. And that is, to me, the most important thing.
I think that's a great definition. I could not have said that better myself. It's about having a standard, setting it, being crystal clear about it, and not accepting anything one shade less than that. Period. And that goes for a man, your job, your family, your health, your finances, all of the above. If you are only interested in excellence, that's all you will accept. And that's what makes you high value. Like you said, it's not about having a Birkin bag with no money in it. What's the point of that? It is about you looking like a check, feeling like a check, and moving like a check. Like, just elevating your standard in every way of life. I am here for it. I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, because sometimes I feel like from the outside looking in, when people see me or other women and you hear this term leveling up in high value, I think that it's been saturated down to getting a rich guy and having a bunch of nice things. And I think that is what a lot of women, when they first see it, that's what they think.
That's what they
And
think. Mm-hmm.
again, all of those are just tools that come along for the ride. That's not the most important thing. It's just being a quality person and having a quality life. And that's relative to the person, because every girl don't want Birkin bags. Every girl don't
Right.
want certain things. So it's
It's about what luxury is to
right.
you. What is quality to you? What is a quality man and a beautiful home to you? Because if you attach you being high value to a man, what happens when he leaves? If you attach being high value to a Chanel purse, guess what? A new Chanel purse coming out tomorrow. So now what? It has to be your inner work, your inner self, how you feel about you. I mean, please, if I had $5 in my pocket, I would still be a high value woman, because that's who I've decided I am. It has nothing to do with anybody but me.
Absolutely. And don't let what you don't have make you feel inadequate, because again, it's not about that.
Agreed. You've got a strong mind. You've got values. You've got intellect. If you decide that you are a baddie or a high value woman or you're leveling up, then that's who you are. And nobody can take that away from you.
Absolutely.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. And that's why Shanika's on the show, because she's smart, y'all. I told y'all that. I got another question for you. And this one came from Instagram. I told you when people heard you were going to be on the show, they got excited, sis. So I got this question a couple of times. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what age would you go back to and what advice would you give yourself?
Gosh, I would go back to age 19.
Oh,
And
early, sis, early.
yes, because, I felt like I got into a very serious relationship so young, and I didn't really get time, I felt like, to find myself. So I would encourage any young girl to books before boys, because boys bring babies. I know y'all have heard that before. Focus on yourself. When you're that young, you don't know nothing about nothing. You gotta
Nothing about nothing.
right. You gotta allow yourself to make mistakes and to go out there and experience life. Start figuring out things. Allow yourself and give yourself room to make mistakes. That's what your 20s are for you to figure out what the heck. Like, what am I doing? What am I gonna do? Okay, I thought this might work, it may not. So it's okay for you to be making these mistakes. And don't get so caught up in these guys. So many women put their self-worth in men. And I get it, like I said, because it stems from a lot of things from our childhood, which is why I said you got to heal yourself. But they put so much into men instead of themselves, and then they always end up with nothing. You cannot be that person. And your 20s are, I love to say, you're just your golden years. Don't just give that away. Focus on yourself. Go get that education. Start that career, okay? Build that foundation and figure out the woman that you want to become. Everything else is just noise. If it's not serving you for your best good, leave it alone. Focus on yourself, get that education, get that career going, and the men will come after that.
Agreed. Now, would your 19-year-old self have listened?
Probably not.
I know mine wouldn't. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Nope,
No,
not at all, honey. I wanted to be on a yacht with the shenanigans. I was with the boys and the tomfoolery at 19. I wouldn't have listened.
no, of course, no, you probably wouldn't have. But see, that's the beauty of life. It's about growth, and it's never too late for you to level up your life, because there's lots of women that follow the blog. Women that are 40 plus, 50 plus, and they feel like it's too late. It's never too late to change your life around, to start being happy. It's never too late for that. I'm just happy that I woke up like really quick before I wasted any more time on foolishness. But it's never too late. You can start right now. Like,
Agreed.
fine. I'm going forward. I'm making the best out of everything. Forget everything else.
I
But you
love
got
it.
yeah.
Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Whether you are listening to this episode and you are 19 or 69, girl, you got time. You've got breath in your body. You're blessed with another day, another year, especially if you survived 2020 and the shenanigans that was. Use that. Use the fact that you're listening to this show as evidence that the universe loves you, wants the best for you, and you're listening to this message for a reason. Like, it was meant to be that I'm having this episode with Sheneka. It's meant to be that you're listening to it. Do something about it. Like, don't feel like it's too late for you. You're not in the grave, girl. You're good. You've got breath in your body and a strong mind. That is all you need to change your life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Amen. Uh, I know you are a big reader. You always post about books on your social media. Every week, I like to ask my guests for the Rich Girl Read of the week. What book has changed your life or changed your business? Like, hit me with it so I can get my Kindle open and get mine.
Ooh, two books. Two of my
Oh,
favorite
even
are
better.
The Alchemist. I encourage
Mm,
The Alchemist, and All About Love by Bell Hooks is two of my favorite books. But All About Love is a really, really good book, because I don't think that many of us understand the whole self-love journey, or just how to love, period. And this book will really, really break that down for you, to help you get a very, very very good understanding of it. So All About Love is my number one, and The Alchemist, just because it's on a spiritual tip. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here for it. And as you guys know, every week I will link the books that Shanika recommends in the show notes. You don't have to look for them, they will be there for you. I knew this episode was going to be fire. I knew you were going to give me the juice and the dirt and the content, and I am here for it. It was a pleasure to have you, babe. Where
No,
can we get more information? Where can we follow you? Where can we find you?
yeah, so the quickest and easiest way is just on Instagram. Simply Shanika is the name, or just go to the website simplyshanika.net, and you can find everything there, and the blog and everything is listed there. So just go to the website.
I love it. I will have all of it linked in the show notes, and I will see you guys next week. Again, I want to thank the beautiful Sheneka Adams for joining me on this week's episode. As usual, you guys can find me. It's Asia at getrichorgetdrunktrying.com if you want to email me, or Get Rich or Get Drunk Trying on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on everything. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.